Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to a new YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, we're going to be continuing our AFL 2023 3-game match reviews, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the last 3 games of round 4 of the 2023 AFL season. Alright, so the first game on Easter Day was between the Bombers and the Giants at Marvel Stadium. And Essendon 11-22-88 defeated the Giants 11-9-75. They won by 13 in the end of the Bombers after they made themselves earn this win. And they couldn't kick straight. They missed some really reasonable and really easy chances. They should have won this game by really 50 points probably. If they had actually had the better of them, but they didn't, because inaccuracy kept the Giants in the game. So first quarter they kicked 2 goals 8, which is very interesting indeed. And I mean, look, they could have been up by well and truly 30-40 points at quarter time alone. But yeah, the Giants actually played alright in the first term as well after Josh Kelly got them off to a ripping start. In the second quarter, though, it was the Giants which did have the momentum. The Bombers were on the back foot. They had to respond, and luckily enough, they get that. Yeah, they really get that equaliser about nearly 2/3 of the way into the quarter. Well, not the equaliser, but the goal that brings them back into the contest, 31-41 at half time. And the third quarter is where the Bombers get off and rolling, including, well, from pretty much the end of the third quarter to a quarter of the way into the last quarter. That was where they just dominated. That's where the goals were put on. And then in the last quarter, the Giants kick a couple late. But, yeah, this real big period here where nothing really happened. Where the game was still up for grabs then, but nobody could grasp it, and in the end it was the Bombers which won by 13 points after they had pretty well a comfortable 20-point lead for most of the last term. Tom Green, 34 disposals, 4 goals for Jake Stringer, lit up Marvel Stadium, 7 tackles for Will Setterfield, and Jack Buckley, 126 fantasy for Nick Haynes. Got to player stats now. 126 fantasy for Haynes, 122 for Redmond, 111 for Green, 109 for Merritt, 106 for Kelly, 103 for Draper, 100 for Whitfield. Goals behinds, 4 goals, 6 for Stringer. I mean, that just sums up his afternoon right there. He had 4 goals. He was probably one of the most influential players on the ground. And when you see a stat like that, you go easily could have had 8 next to his name. And yeah, you get wondering, because this is a man that's very capable of doing all kinds of things, and if he had just kicked 8 goals in the game, that would have been enough to win the Bombers the game alone, I reckon. Jake Stringer kicks 8, and I'd say they'd pretty much won already. Harry Himmelberg kicks 3 goals. Toby Green kicks 2 goals after being clamped against Carlton the week prior. This was a better bounce-back game by him. 2 goals for Martin, Kelly, Ward. Is there anybody else from the Jai Caldwell? 0-3. Dry Menzies, 0-2. So a couple of players really did have their chances to impact the scoreboard from the Bombers. 34 disposed for Green, 30 for Parrish, 28 for Merritt and Shield and Kelly. Go to marks. 17 for Haynes. That's amazing. By far the most on the ground. Next was 8 for Toby Green and Lockie Ash. Tackles 7 for Setterfield, Buckley, 6 for Redmond, Kelly, 5 for Caldwell, Whitfield, 24 hitouts for Draper, 22 for Flynn, 17 for Phillips, 1 for Hogan, Riccardi, and Himmelberg. Got us some team stats now, and 61-50 inside 50 is in favour of the Bombers, so they did go inside 50 more times than the Giants. 11-6 free kicks, interesting. Low number of free kicks. 41-25 hitouts. Clearance is locked at 34. 11-13 censor in favour of the Giants. 23-21 stoppage in favour of the Bombers. 86-111 marks. The Giants did lead for most of the game after having some of it in their control. In the end, though, the Bombers had way more chances, and after making themselves earn the win, they got it. And now to the second game on Easter Day was West Coast versus Melbourne at Optus Stadium. Not a very exciting matchup, and we all thought it wasn't going to be that great. And in the end, it wasn't great, and I don't know why my thing has done this. Right, there we go, that's better. But it was very interesting, though, West Coast. They've looked okay in the past couple weeks. They looked alright in the Derby. And yeah, they've looked good against the Giants. They looked pretty good in the Derby, and for a half of this game and moments late in it, they looked good in this one as well after a couple of nice little late goals there for the Eagles. But they held in this game for a half, and I mean, the D's they didn't really have their chance either. You couldn't say they had their chances. I mean, the Eagles were actually alright for a half. This is our third quarter where the Demons just really put the foot on the accelerator and went bang. It was a 6-2 term. The game is over at 3/4 time. The D's extend their lead into the last, despite two absolutely stunning West Coast goals, including one straight out of the middle from Tim Kelly. And I think that would have given West Coast fans a nice little light there. Nice little thought. I reckon that was a nice little running goal there for Kelly, which nobody even laid a hand on him really. That was a cracking finish there from Tim Kelly, who had a great game as well. 36 disposals, 142 fantasy, 4 goals for McDonald, 11 tackles for Neil Bullen. Right. So let's go over Tim Kelly's game because he was really good. 142 fantasy, 2 goals for him, 36 disposals, 6 marks, 5 tackles. So he was really good, Tim Kelly. 129 fantasy for Oliver, 124 for Petrarca, 119 for Grundy, 104 for Rivers, 99 for Gaff and McDonald, 98 for Viney, and 95 for Hunt up against his former side, 91 for Hunter, 89 for Allen and Fritsch. We'll go goals behinds now. 4 goals for McDonald, 3 goals for Allen, who's looked good for the Eagles. We know he missed last year due to injury. He's looked good this year, and I actually thought that he was going to have a big year for West Coast, and not looking too bad at this stage. And he's been not Josh Kennedy replacement, because he's very tough to replace, as we know, but he's going to fill that. He's going to be able to slot into that position nicely, I reckon. He's not going to obviously be Josh Kennedy. You can't be Josh Kennedy. But he's going to be able to go into that area and still have a nice, impactful game. 3 goals in this game. Again, he does look like, and he's young as well, so he looks like he's got a nice future coming up. 3 goals for Fritsch, Petrarca, 2 goals for 5 for Pickett, he had his chances. 2 goals for Van Ruin, who debuted last week versus Swans. 2 more goals this week. 2 goals for Spargo and Kelly as well. Disposals, 36 for Kelly, 34 for Oliver, 29 for Petrarca, 27 for Rivers and Hunter. Go to marks. 9 for May, 8 for Duggan and Petrarca. 11 tackles for Neil Bullen, 10 for Oliver, 9 for Gaff. Hit outs, 33 for Grundy, 19 for Williams, 7 for Van Ruin, 6 for Waterman and Petty, 2 for McDonald, 1 for Barras. Team stats now. 38 entries inside 50 for a game for the Eagles is definitely deflating. 58 for the Ds. They smashed them in disposal as well. They won hit outs, clearances pretty comfortably as well. I mean, even though it was 11-13 out of the centre, so West Coast still did have their moments. Their decent moments, especially in that first half and late in the last term. 75-95 marks, 8-16 marks inside 50 in favour of the Ds. 14 contested marks. The Ds did lead for the entire contest, and in the end, definitely deserving winners as they continue on what is looking to be a really good season for them, and one where they will definitely be going as a premiership contender. And now to the game which just wrapped up not too long ago. Geelong vs Hawthorn at the MCG Easter Monday. And for a moment there, I thought they were going to have another cracking game on our hands after the Hawks kicked the first 3 goals of the game. It was a very even first half where Hawthorn dominated for that first quarter. Should have been further in front. Missed a couple of real easy chances. For example, you've got, what's his name? Tyler Brockman running into an open goal. And he misses, and you can't miss that scenario. We all would have seen that, where he ran into an open goal and missed it. You can't miss from there. A couple of other really easy chances went missing as well. But for the first half, Hawthorn dominated. They were in front in all the stats and all that. They put more pressure on the Cats. Looked sloppy. 10 goals to naught. Hawthorn didn't even score anything in the first quarter. The Cats beat them 65-0. Hawthorn went inside 51 time in that third quarter. And that's where the game was lost for the Hawks. And then in the last quarter, the Cats continued their dominance to build out an 82-point win. 7 goals for Cameron, 137 fantasy for Cameron as well. 11 tackles for Cam Guthrie, 31 disposals for Duncan. Alright, so Cameron got 137 fantasy, 127 fantasy for Duncan, 111 for Guthrie, that's Cam. 104 for the Cats skipper Dangerfield, 102 for Myers, 99 for Holmes, Smith, and Day, 96 for Ward, and 89 for Impey, who had probably one of the best games I've seen Impey play in a little while, I reckon. Impey's definitely one of those players which can have a decent game sometimes, but yeah, since being traded, probably lost a little bit. 7 goals for Cameron, by far the most on the ground. In fact, he kicked more goals for his side than what Hawks kicked for the whole game. 3 goals for Bruce. 2 goals, 3 for Henry, who was the medical sub, I believe. 2 goals for Hawkins, Close, Stengel, and Green. We've got disposals now, 31 for Duncan, 27 for Dangerfield Smith, 26 for Holmes, 25 for Myers. Marks, 14 for Duncan, 10 for Hawkins, 9 for Cameron, 8 for Guthrie, Radigalia, 7 for Myers. Oh, we see where this is definitely going now with the marks. 11 tackles for Guthrie, 9 for Atkins, who does it so well, 8 for Day. Hit-outs now, 31 for Reeves, 26 for Stanley, 7 for Meeks, 6 for Blitzarves, 3 for Hawkins. Team stats now, 62-38 inside 50s. The Hawks were alright in that area early on. They looked like they were in their end quite a bit, especially in that first quarter. And that second quarter as well, but yeah, third and fourth quarter especially, they only went inside 50 once in that third term, and that's where the game was blown open, and it just lived in the Cats forward 50 for that third term, and really that last term as well. Clearances were looked at 35-35, 11-9 out of the centre in favour of the Cats, 24-26 stoppage in favour of the Hawks. Don't know how they still managed to be around in that area. Had way more uncontested possessions, did the Cats. Way more marks, 116-69, 18-8 marks inside 50. It was a very even split after the Hawks led for the first half, Cats led for the second half. But realistically, it was an utter smashing after half-time. The Hawks had the game in their grasp. After half-time, absolutely blew it. Their defence was alright in the first half, keeping the Cats down to 27, but yeah, from there on, they just got absolutely smashed all over the park. Alright, so a little round review. The Lions beat the Pies by 33. The Blues over North by 23. The Crows over the Dockers by 39. The Dogs over the Tigers by 5. The Saints over the Suns by 53. Port Adelaide over the Swans by 2. Essendon over the Giants by 13. Melbourne over West Coast by 63. Geelong over Hawthorn by 82. Here is the ladder after round number 4. The Saints on top, 16 points. They're undefeated, 4-0. The Blues, 3-0-1 as well, so they are also undefeated. However, with the draw, that's their points a little bit messed up, you can say. And here's the rest of the ladder. At the moment, things are looking pretty interesting, and the Cats got a really big percentage boost in that game. Gather Round does have some treats, and make sure to go ahead and put your entries into the tipping margin comp, which is all the games this round. So for Gather Round, Crows Blues opens it up. That should be an interesting contest. Double Friday with double header on the Friday. Fremantle Gold Coast, Richmond Sydney. Brisbane North kicks off the Saturday action. Essendon Melbourne, Port Adelaide Dogs in a Saturday doubleheader at the Adelaide Oval, and then Brisbane North, we know, is at the Adelaide Hills. Sunday doubleheader at the Adelaide Oval as well. Geelong, West Coast, GWS, Hawthorn at Norwood, and then Collingwood, St Kilda, which should be a good game to end off Gather Round, the inaugural Gather Round. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. What a weekend of Easter it was. Round 4 is Easter weekend, round 5 is Gather Round, then round 6 is Anzac Day round. So we do have some big rounds of footy coming up in the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Send you guys an another video on the channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting everyone. Flaming Footy out.